It was a serene morning on the outskirts of New York City, the calm punctuated by the soft coos of pigeons fluttering between towering skyscrapers and urban parks. Among them was a peculiar pigeon named Whisper, a beloved companion to Sergeant David Carter, a decorated American soldier stationed at the nearby base. Whisper wasn't just any pigeon. He had been trained as a message carrier during missions, a living symbol of loyalty and trust for the unit. David often found solace in Whisper's gentle presence. After countless grueling missions abroad, the pigeon's playful antics were a rare reprieve for the battle-hardened soldier. It was during one of these peaceful mornings, as Whisper perched on David's shoulder, that chaos descended. The sky darkened unexpectedly, the sun swallowed by massive alien crafts that loomed ominously above the city. Civilians screamed and scattered as beams of red light sliced through the skyline, reducing buildings to ash in seconds. The air was thick with the acrid smell of burning metal, and the unmistakable hum of extraterrestrial technology reverberated through the ground. David instinctively grabbed his rifle, ushering civilians toward shelter, his military training kicking in. Whisper, however, refused to fly away. The pigeon stayed loyally by his side, a steadfast companion in the face of impending doom. Suddenly, a sleek alien soldier descended from a hovering craft, its metallic armor gleaming under the dim, apocalyptic sky. The creature scanned the area with its cold, glowing eyes before raising its weapon. It wasn't targeting David, it was aiming at Whisper. "No!" David shouted, lunging forward to protect his feathered friend. But it was too late. A searing beam of energy shot forth, striking Whisper and reducing the bird to a lifeless heap of feathers. David froze, staring at the smoldering remains of his companion. Rage surged through him, drowning out the fear and chaos around him. The alien tilted its head, seemingly amused by David's despair. It held up a strange holographic device, displaying a cryptic message in a language unknown to Earth. Without warning, it retreated back to its craft, leaving David kneeling beside Whisper's ashes. As the alien ship ascended, David clenched his fists. "You took my friend," he whispered, his voice trembling with fury. "You started this war. I'll end it." David returned to his base, rallying what remained of his unit. The invasion had thrown the city into disarray, and communication lines were severed. But David was a man of resolve. He began strategizing with his team, piecing together the limited intelligence they had on the alien forces. Among the scattered reports, one thing was clear: these invaders weren't here for conquest. They sought to enslave humanity and exterminate any resistance. Days turned into weeks as David and his team launched guerrilla-style counterattacks against the alien occupiers. Using the city's underground tunnels and abandoned buildings as their base of operations, they struck swiftly and silently, dismantling alien outposts and rescuing captured civilians. David carried Whisper's charred feather as a reminder of his promise. Each victory fueled his resolve, but the alien forces retaliated with increasing brutality. Their leader, a towering alien named HFY, seemed particularly invested in crushing David's rebellion. David's efforts didn't go unnoticed. Word of his resistance spread, and civilians began to join his cause. Engineers repurposed alien technology, creating makeshift weapons that could pierce the invaders' armor. Scientists decoded fragments of the aliens' language, discovering their next target, Washington, D.C. On a stormy night, David and his ragtag army intercepted an alien convoy heading for the capital. The battle was fierce, the night illuminated by explosions and laser fire. Amidst the chaos, David faced HFY Crawl in a brutal hand-to-hand fight. The alien leader's strength was overwhelming, but David's determination was unyielding. "You killed Whisper," David growled, dodging a strike. "You didn't just start a war, you made it personal." HFY Crawl snarled, swinging a blade of energy at David. The soldier blocked it with a piece of scavenged alien armor, countering with a well-aimed strike to the alien's chest. With one final surge of effort, David drove the blade into HFY Crawl's core, the alien collapsing in a heap. As HFY Crawl's forces faltered, David's army seized the opportunity, driving the invaders back. The skies cleared, revealing the first light of dawn in weeks. With the aliens retreating, Earth began to rebuild. David stood on the battlefield, clutching Whisper's feather. He had kept his promise, avenging his friend and protecting humanity. As the first pigeons returned to the skies above the city, David smiled faintly. Whisper was gone, but his spirit lived on in every fight, every victory, and every flight of freedom. The war was over, but David knew the cost of peace. He vowed to ensure the world remembered not just the fallen, but also the loyalty and love of even the smallest heroes. Whisper, after all, wasn't just a pigeon, he was a symbol of hope.